Hello, everyone. Today I have a super exciting guest. I have Christina Modestou. Got it right.
That's right. That's all right.
So, thank you for letting me interview you. You are a
Oh no,
superstar.
thank you for getting in touch.
No worries. So, you have just finished The Boy in the Dress.
I have.
How was
Yeah.
that based on the David Williams book?
It is based on David Ryan's book,
But
yeah, and the music by Robbie Williams and Guy Chambers as well.
David
So
Williams, Rob Williams, Guy Chambers, if you're listening,
yeah.
come get interviewed.
Yeah, get on it, get interviewed. Yeah, it was great. You know, we had an amazing cast. It's a really moving show. It was really exciting to be part of something brand new, and really we really got to all kind of put our own stamp on it and help develop it, which was, and obviously being in Stratford upon Avon was beautiful as well.
So, how did you sort of get that role? What was it, on audition? Were you approached?
Audition. So I don't know how many people they saw for it. I went in, I did like a dance round first, actually. I think we did a dance round and then straight into like a singing round, and then they sent me some material. I went back with the material. I was actually on hold for it for like 2-3 months, and then about a couple of weeks before we started rehearsals, I had to go back in again and meet the director, and then I found out that I got it.
And how did you
Yeah,
feel
it was a
when
long
you?
process of waiting, that one.
So, that must have been stressful for you, being like, "Oh, am I getting the part? Am I
Yeah,
not getting the part?"
I know. It's so strange because you think, oh, I've got other auditions, but I've still got this, and I don't know. It could be yes, it could be no. So you sort of, you know, but yeah, it worked out. So that's good.
That's that's great. So,
Yeah.
recently, well, I just had Billy Cullum on the show.
Yeah. Lovely Billy
That's what I'm
Cullum.
calling it. And you guys, you were part of the Rent video.
Yeah.
Is taking the internet by storm right now, isn't it?
I
Apparently,
know. I
because it's
know.
like Broadway world and stuff like that. How did you feel? Was it an easy decision when Billy messaged you and said, "Hey, we're doing this"? Was it just
Oh yeah.
yeah?
100%.
So
We were all completely in very, very quickly. I mean, it's such a perfect kind of song, and also an excuse for us to all kind of get back together and kind of, even though we're all in isolation, but it was nice to kind of chat and get it all down, and just the cause, like raising money and all that sort of stuff. It's yeah, it was a no-brainer, really.
how long has it been since you've been in the show Rent?
Oh God, when did we finish? 2.5 years, 3 years ago, maybe even.
So how did it
That
feel
is
getting
crazy
back
because
into
I've
the?
known Billy since we were 18. We trained together, me and Billy. So when we got Rent together, we were like, yes, we actually get to work together. And then we did Little Shop together as well. So we're following each other
So,
around.
so when you got that message, you were like, yeah, sure. Was it hard to get back into the sort of, to remember the words, to remember the harmonies and the
Well,
melodies, or was
I
it
mean,
like second
Seasons of
nature?
Love. I think everybody's learnt that song. Anyone who's done musical theatre as a child kind of knows that song. Like, it's ingrained. We did have like funny takes of like trying to remember like the exact harmonies. There was a little clip actually at the end that when he first sent the audio through, there's a clip at the end of me just being like, I think I did it right. But yeah, so it was fun. It was fun. It was good to remember it. And luckily one of the swings still had like the alto line recorded. So we all had a little listen before before we recorded it. It took a few attempts, but
So you said that you and Billy were in Little Shop together.
yeah, we did Little Shop
So
together as well.
when was that? Was that before or after Rent? You
So
said after, didn't you?
that was after Red. So that wasn't last summer. That was the summer before. We both did Regent's Park together.
And sort of, how did you go about getting the part in Little Shop?
Little Shop was an interesting one. I did Little Shop when I was about 13, and I was one of the three girls. and I absolutely loved it, had a whale of a time on it, and I always wanted to do it professionally. So when I heard that Regent's Park were doing it, I literally called my agent and was like, I have to be in for this show. But I mean, stereotypically, I don't really massively fit it. So I thought, I have to really make a really bold decision if I'm gonna, try and get in the show. So I decided to audition with something different and be a Latina urchin. So bring a new kind of energy to it, because usually it's never been done like that before. And luckily the director liked it, and I think the artistic director had just seen me in Six as well, and Renee, who also was one of the urchins. So I think that kind of put us in good stead, really. And then we ended up getting it and doing it, which is awesome. It's a hard show though. Those roles are like, really, you do not leave the stage, and it's full 3-part harmony, full choreo, and you're always on stage reacting and watching, and so it was great.
Okay, great. So you have also worked with another one of my guests, Joel Montague.
I have. Oh, Joel, I love him. He's brilliant.
So how was it working with him?
He's just amazing. We were on You're in Town together, and he covered Matt. So he went on for Barbie a few times, and he was just brilliant. Like, Joel is a pro. He's an absolute pro, and he is also just the loveliest, most caring guy. Hopefully get to work together with him again at some point.
So you spoke a minute ago about a show that sort of took the world by storm. We were in Six, weren't you?
I was, yeah. I did like the very original kind of workshops, and then the original studio recording.
So did you know that it was gonna blow up that much when you said yes to the part?
To be honest, when I said yes to the part, it was brand new. So we didn't really know much about it until we I don't think we were even sent a script before the rehearsals. We just did like an audition, quite an intense audition day, doing bits and bobs. But we didn't really know what it was. And then we all sort of stepped in the room with just these amazing bunch of girls and this amazing team. And I remember the first read through, we were reading our characters, but Lucy Moss and Toby Marlowe, who wrote the show, were singing us and performing the songs. So we did like a full read through with them, and we were just buzzing at the end of it. But I think the minute we really realised how good it was after our very first show. After our very first show, we were all like mind blown at the response, and we only rehearsed for 2 weeks, so it was really, really intense rehearsals. So sometimes when it's really intense like that, you don't get time to work out if it's good, if it's bad, if it, you can only kind of say, oh, that doesn't feel like it works, can we change it? And so you never get like a full kind of perspective on it until we kind of opened the jar and let the audience in, and they just went mad. It was absolutely bonkers.
I know that it's definitely taken a lot of people that are on TikTok. It's taken them by storm.
I know. I was supposed to do a video for it, but I just can't work TikTok. I have no clue. I'm like a nana, honestly. It's terrible.
No,
don't laugh at me, Tom.
Well, I don't know how to work TikTok either. My girlfriend loves it, and I'm just like, I walked in and she was doing one earlier. And there's just me and the camera being like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do.
And I was like, I'll just dance along, I guess.
She'll have to give me like a virtual lesson on how to use it.
Okay. I'll get her to come in after the interview and teach you.
Yeah, thanks.
So, you were also in Aladdin, the pantomime Aladdin.
I was, yeah. Do you know, I had the best time on that show. It was in Cheltenham at the Everyman, which is like the most beautiful theatre. I had stunning digs, a really ace cast. Tweedy, he's a clown for Gifford Circus, and he is just stellar. And it was, the whole cast were just awesome. We had such a laugh and really fun tunes, a really great director, and yeah, it was one of my faves. Although they kept putting my face on like buses, so I kept like every time I was like walking to work, like a bus would go past, and I'd be like, "Oh God, there's my face." It was really bizarre.
You get recognised walking down the street, and people are like, "I saw you on a bus." And you're
Yeah,
like,
I kept getting like the whole, "You look really familiar," like in shops or like walking down the street, and there'd be like a bus like here, and I'd be like, I'm not really sure how to answer that. It's funny.
and you're sitting on the bus, and someone's like, "You look familiar," and you're like, "Yeah, just wait until you get off. You're
I'll just wait
recognisable."
till you get off, and then you'll probably realise why. Yeah, it was great. It was only like 10 weeks long, that job, but it was just so much fun.
So, on the list of shows, it's quite a big, extensive list. You've done a lot of shows. I have In the Heights.
Yeah,
Great,
I think.
great musical.
Yeah, I think to date that's my fave. I think. Well, I don't think I know, but it was just. I know I say this about a lot of work like that. I had a great time, but that show was extremely special. It came after like a tough old year, and I just loved the music. Everyone on that job was also in like a very at a turning point in their life, and I think that show really put everyone on a map, and it really like game changed a lot for us all. And it was just made like we didn't really earn money doing it. Everyone just did it for the pure love, like, and it was a complete like love project. It was just, and Southwark Playhouse, like being that intimate with the audience, and the band being like so with us, like it was really, really beautiful, really beautiful.
So, on this list, I spoke to you about this before, and your very first musical was We All Rock You.
It was, yeah. I was very lucky.
How did you feel knowing when you got that part? It must have been exhilarating knowing that you were. How did that feel?
I just felt so fortunate, and so lucky. Like, I graduated literally in the June, I think, and I started in the July, and it's like you learn so much at college, but then you learn so much more on the job. And so I was just like a little sponge, like trying to just learn everything from everyone, like as much as I could. And God, the voices and the talent and the morale on that show was just something else. Like, it was a real family. Like, the Dominion was like, I even went back to dress on it after I left the show because I loved it that much that I dressed on and off in between jobs for like 4 years because I loved the team backstage and just getting to perform with Brian May and Roger Taylor on the anniversaries. That was amazing. And there's just such a buzz on that show, and everyone was just so like, everyone had each other's backs. It was so fun. We used to have a wardrobe village backstage, so you'd have your dressing rooms, but the show was a bit too quick to go up and down to your dressing room. So just behind the stage, we had this massive room with like a wigs table, lots of chairs, and everyone would have their place where they changed. And then you'd have a music booth. So if you weren't in a number, you'd go and sing in the booth, like a little pop band. It was great. And everyone hung out in that village. So it was like a social every night, as well as like singing those amazing songs on stage. And yeah, I was really humbled by it. Like, I learned so much.
That's amazing. So, going from past to present, you are working on your Agony Actor, is that right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. So Agony Actor is an idea that has kind of slowly developed in me. God, I can't even remember. It must have been about 4 or 5 years ago. I was sort of thinking, you know, I want to do something meaningful. And I'm sort of looking for something between jobs. I love teaching. I love helping people. And I think it's really important in this industry to have something that you're equally as passionate about and that you can do to keep you going when you don't have the work. And so Agony Actor kind of, I thought, maybe this could never be a thing. Like, I don't know if anyone would go for it, or who would want my help? Do you know what I mean? Like, I sort of kind of thought that. And I slowly started like opening it up to my friends and people who I really, really trust, and they would sort of encourage and then say, well, you know, you need to figure out what it is. And it's an idea that has basically developed over the last like 4 or 5 years. And it's something for me that I used to work at an audition space where I'd see people, like different kinds of people from all areas and all backgrounds of the industry. And I just think there's no support for anyone. Like, there's no support, and we always put ourselves on the line. And so I became more passionate about it, even like witnessing that. So I decided to set up the Agony Actor, which, sorry, I'm rambling now, which is basically a kind of personal mentor for actors or anyone within the industry. So you can use it as much or as little as you like, but I just want people to know it's there. It's a service that basically provides you with support in whatever way you want it, whether that's to develop your skills, if you want to make your singing better, or work on monologues, or line run things, or work on self-tapes. But then it also gives you a really safe space to like talk about you and make sure that your well-being is being looked after, and that you're really taking care of yourself. So often in this industry, you can get stuck, and I've been there, and luckily I've got an amazing network of people around me who help me through it, but not everyone has that, you know. And when you turn to someone who's also going through the same thing as you, sometimes they don't mean to, but they don't have the patience to help you through it, because they go, oh, well, I'm going through that as well, you know. And so I wanted to create a safe space for people to vent or work positively, and, you know, and just build themselves and look after their product. So that's basically what Agony Actor does. It tailors to the needs of the client. So yeah, and it's gone really well. So
did you say that Agony Actor is live now, that people can use it?
yeah, so the website is www.agonyactor.com. And if anyone wants to have a read, or if anyone wants to get in touch, then you just go to the contact page, you fill out the form, and that will come to me, and then we can set up some sessions. And the first session is completely free, and then I'm doing a like pay what you can. So you could pay £1 and have the full service, you know.
That's amazing. Yeah, everyone, if you need to, check that out. It's very important that you look after yourself, I think.
Oh, thanks, Tom. And you know, if it's not getting in touch with me, then like find that support in the best way you can, you know.
There's always someone out there that can help.
Yeah, and don't be scared to have help and support, you know. It's so important. We really underestimate that, I think, how important it is. And there's some sort of shame that comes with asking for help in this country, and I don't know why. We all need it, and we'd all be far better off with it, you know. So definitely take it.
It's absolutely amazing. It's amazing what you're doing. Everyone.
Oh, thanks, Tom. Thank you. If I can help one person, then, you know, we're on to a winner, innit?
Yeah, even just helping one person makes a massive difference. It's not for the world. For that person, it may be their world. So
yeah, 100%. Especially in these times, like, you know, it's so tricky. It's and you know, I've almost launched it so many times, but what with going away with the boy in the dress, I wanted the first sessions to be very personal, face to face, like feel like friendly. And then as soon as we went into isolation, I said to my partner, I was like, I have to do this now. I was like, people are going to feel more stuck than ever. And if once a week we meet up and that's the thing that they look forward to preparing for, if we can just keep people ticking over during this time, then I have to do it. And in a way, it's kind of got the thought of like doing like video interviews, video calls, video sessions. I would be like, oh, or video concerts or anything like this where I'm sort of talking to a camera, I find quite cringe, but you know, I've had to drop that. So it's teaching me things too. And I learn from my clients, and I've been setting up workshops. So my clients have been talking to people within the industry, like free workshops to agents, directors, getting the best advice possible so that they can move forward in the best way, you know? So it's been really positive so far. And the response and support from everyone, everyone's reaction to it, because I was ready to be a bit panned, you know? I was ready for people to be like, oh, does she think she is doing this? But everyone's been so supportive of it. And, you know, I think social media can be really harmful in some ways. People can like come for you, but it's proved to me that people out there are looking for it and want it and are supporting it, you know? So I'm really, really grateful.
Yeah, everyone make sure you check it out. I'll put a link to the website in the description of this video.
Oh, thanks, Tom. That'd be amazing.
If you want to check it out, just click below the video.
Yeah. No pressure, though.
No pressure, of course.
No pressure, never.
But if you are feeling pressure,
if you are feeling
that's a
pressure,
place to talk.
no pressure, never.
So we're nearing the end of the interview now.
No.
A couple more questions I'm going to ask you.
Go on then.
A bit different to talking about your work. But the first question is, I asked you this, think about this before the interview. If you could be in any musical, singing any songs with any character, no gender roles or anything, in full costume, full lights, full sound, full everything, for one night only, which musical, which character, and why?
God, I mean, this is so hard because there are so many. But last year I went to see Jesus Christ Superstar at the Barbican, and my wonderful colleague who I did We Will Rock You with, he's a wonderful, wonderful man. I saw Ricardo Afonso play Judas, and before that Tyrone Huntley played Judas, and I think it might have to be Judas or Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar, because I just love their sings, I love their turmoil, I love that. I just, it bubbles for me. I actually wouldn't want to be in that show as a girl, but I would 100% do an all-female version of it.
Any producers out there watching, all-female version of Jesus Christ Superstar, you know who
I could be Jesus, yeah. Yeah, I would love to do that. I think that's one of the tops of my list. I mean, there's loads, but yeah, I think that's the one night only one. One night only. Oh, Dreamgirls, that's a good one as well.
Exciting
That's
choice.
it. We're going down a hole now.
Join us for hour 6 of the interview.
Yeah, get to. Christina's on the 40th musical she wants to be in.
Thomas falling asleep.
I wouldn't blame you.
So the next question I'm going to ask, one of the final questions, has actually become quite a fun game for me and my girlfriend, because I ask everyone this, and then I pause it before you answer, and she has to guess what you're going to say.
Oh, does she? All right, okay.
If you could be any Disney princess, which one would you be and why?
Okay. Oh, this is actually a really hard one. I think maybe Moana.
Good choice.
Yeah, I think.
I haven't had that one yet.
Yeah.
Why would you choose that one?
I think I just love the music and I love that culture. Also, I know it's not a Disney princess, but if I could be in Coco, that would be great too.
Good choice.
I love that film. Also a minion. I'd happily take a minion in Despicable Me. I'd totally be up for that. Yeah, totally be up for that.
If I could any character now, I'd be Wally, definitely.
Oh, yeah, great one. Great
Watched it the other
one.
day, and I think my girlfriend said to me, "You just have any character that just makes noises, don't you?" And I was like, "Why?"
Just like- I love that. I love that. But yeah, no, I think Moana. I think she's cool, man. Does she come? Yeah, she's a princess, isn't she? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, she's a
yeah.
princess.
In her tribe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't watched that film enough actually, but yeah, that's the one.
I'm gonna have to start asking anyone if they could be any character ever. Which one would they be? Let's just see what they.
Yeah, but it's so hard. It's so hard. One thing you need to know about me, if you haven't already recognized it, aside from the fact that I can't form words, is that I'm very indecisive.
Me too, but it's just one thing I know for definite is that I would always be Elsa.
Or would you?
Yeah,
Yeah, there would
definitely.
have been a time where I'd have said that.
Frozen's my favorite. I just love the belting, and also Adina Menzel.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good shout. It's a good shout. I think I'd
Yeah.
take Anna over Elsa though.
Um, Anna,
Maybe we should do it together. There we go.
maybe. Yeah, that'd be
You
great.
can be the Elsa to my Anna.
Amazing. Everyone tune in next week where we're gonna have a musical version.
Jesus and Judas, and then Elsa and Anna.
See, Anna annoys me, and the reason why will shock everyone that's listening.
Oh, really?
Anna annoys me because of the fact that recently they brought out a cereal that had their faces on them, and I can only find Anna boxes, and I couldn't find Elsa, so I just got annoyed at her. I was like, "Leave me alone, Anna."
Leave me alone, Anna. She's
And
trying to
that's why I'm
convince you.
annoyed. It's because I couldn't find any Elsas. I could just every shop I went to. It's because she's so amazing. They just sold out. So I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yes, there's no Anna. Yes,
Yeah.
no Elsa."
No, Elsa. Never mind. One day you'll find her. One day.
Well, I did. I've got her now. There's a box.
Oh, there you go. So you're all right now.
I had to buy the Anna one, and then I found Elsa. I found it in Home Bargains, and the box was broken. So I went to the employer. I was like, "Got any tape?" And he's like, "Do you not just want a different one?" I was like, "No, it has to be this one." It's really embarrassing,
I
but
hope you got money off.
no, it didn't. It was only that the top was open, so I just went.
You should have
I can
blagged
deal
an
with
extra
it.
10% for that.
Okay. So, maybe I should go back with the box and be like, "Excuse me," and he'll just think I've opened it myself.
I think you're going to go back to that moment where you sent me a message saying, "Can I interview you?" and go, "Actually, I'm not going to message this crazy person."
No, this has been one of the most fun interviews I've had. No offense to anyone else that might be watching.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Bless
So
you.
the final question is a very
Yeah.
important question.
Okay.
Because it's to everyone at home. Is what is your advice to everyone that's stuck at home right now during this crazy lockdown?
My advice is, do your best. Let's look after our NHS and stay at home. And I know it's really frustrating that we can't see our loved ones or be with our loved ones or enjoy the sunshine if you haven't got a garden. But no, it's temporary, and it'll be over faster if we all just do as we're told, you know. So just do your best. Do your best.
And I'm sure your loved ones are quite happy because my grandma, the last thing she said to me before the lockdown, we were playing a game and I was being a bit annoying in the game. And the last thing she said was, "Can't wait until the lockdown. You can stop being that annoying at this game."
Oh no. So let's just add another thing. Be kind. Also that. Grandma.
Grandma, if you're watching, I miss you and I love you.
Oh, I'm sure she feels exactly the same.
Because we're so far away from each other right now. It's hard for everyone. I'm in Wales. She's in England. She's far away, like 3.5 hours
My
away.
family are in Wales as well, and I'm up in Scotland, so it's
That's even further. So.
Yeah, really far. It's kind of like harder though, because I think if I was around the corner from my parents, I think I'd find it even harder because knowing that they're around the corner and not being able to go and see them, I think I'd really, really struggle. So actually it makes me feel like I'm kind of on tour and I'll go and see them when I get my week off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
makes it a bit easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a strange old time, but we will get through it. We'll get through the other side, and everyone just needs to stay safe because it's a little bugger, this thing. So you know, we need to just
Yeah.
squash it.
So you heard the advice from the superstar. Make sure you follow it.
The Jesus
heard
Christ
my advice.
superstar.
No, I'm the superstar. Sorry.
Oh,
I
yes. Good, Tom. That was brilliant.
You had advice from the superstar and
Yeah.
also my guest.
Yes.
So if anyone wants to follow you on social media, how do they follow you?
Just on Instagram, Twitter, your Twitter. Bit of Bruno Mars be there.
And
but yeah,
the way they spell your name, so they can make sure, should be.
It's just Modest with an OU at the end. Modest.
Oh, I didn't think about that when I was trying to remember how to
you.
spell it. I said, I was like, Modestou.
Yeah, all that. You know, whatever works.
Modest
Whatever works for
OU
you.
or Modestou, whatever you want to remember.
It's the Greek in me, see. The Greek.
Thank you, everyone. This interview, by the way, almost forgot to say it again. It's to raise money for Acting for Others.
Yes, please donate. Please donate.
Very, very important cause. And if you don't donate, then I won't get to do this anymore because people will think it's not worth it.
Oh, it's totally worth it, Tom.
So yeah, if you donate,
yes, donate, please.
It helps all those actors or people in the industry that are struggling right now, especially.
Honestly, yeah, it really, really does. Acting for Others does amazing things. We did some bucket collections for it at the RSC just before we finished, and honestly, the work they do is incredible. So please donate.
Yes, exactly. Remember to subscribe to this channel as well for the amazing interviews you're going to get. I've got some amazing people coming up. I've had some amazing interviews before this, and I will link some of them in the description of this video, and I'll also link the website that you need to check out, Agony Actor.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Christina, for letting me.
Thank you, Tom.
It's been amazing.
Take care. Stay safe.
Yeah, and everyone, remember my one piece of advice that I always say.